My name's Carol, and I'm here with Tanya today. We are Let's Get Infinite. Very excited to talk to you about what's happening for us on Friday morning, April 5th at 7 o'clock Pacific time. It's our Wildcard Friday at Soul Spa in the mornings. We are going to be having a very special guest join us. Her name is Olga Nikolajev. She's soon to be Dr. O. She's just been accepted into the PhD program at the University of Ottawa with a focus on psychedelics and end-of-life care. So, for some of you who may not know yet, Tanya and I recently completed our end-of-life doula training, and Ola was our professor, and she is an absolute wealth of information, anything related to do with death, dying, the process, planning, any questions you might have. She has this specialty about total pain care and management during life, in the living years, as well as at the end of life. T?
Yeah, so this concept of death and dying, right? I know for myself, I've avoided the subject for many, many years, thinking, well, if I was to talk about it and concentrate on it, maybe I'm welcoming it sooner than I'd like it to be here. And in the avoidance of that, have learned that actually this is what Carol and I do really well, bringing things into conversation that are a bit taboo or a bit untouchable, certainly not in commonplace. It's not the norm to talk about death and dying, but we want to normalize all of these things, death and dying included, right? And so here's the inevitability. You were born and you will die. and
End
we
of story. Not
know
end of the story. It's always the middle of the story. Cancel
exactly.
that. Cancel that.
And the idea is that we're welcoming people into our soul spa on Friday mornings. We do a wild card. We've had so many guest appearances at this point in time that add value to our community, which is amazing. And then people take that information and they start to ripple it into their own lives, right? So, what would it be like if we could talk about death and dying with our family members, with our closest friends, letting people know what our wishes are? Because sometimes I think we assume that people will know or that they should know. And quite often, if we were to ask the question, what do you think is wanted here? We'll probably get an answer that is far off base from what we actually want, right? So it's important to talk about this stuff. Join us on Friday. We're excited to welcome Olga. She is a wealth of information, but she's also a lot of fun. So
She's
she
a
has
blast.
an amazing aura. She's a wealth of information. She's excited about death, if you can be excited. And I remember the first day of death doula training, I was like, okay, so you're going to have to be serious and you're going to have to let those parts of you go that want to poke fun or make humor. And I got into the class and was so refreshed to see her on the screen that she is just all of who she is all the time. So come and join us for this conversation and check out death and dying and why it's important to talk about it.
Yeah, this will be the first of many other conversations. Tanya and I, starting next Tuesday, we're going to be holding grief and bereavement circles. It seems that over the past few years, there have been an elevated number of deaths around us. There's so many people around us for unusual, strange reasons, some expected, some unexpected. And when we're around that much a lot, it can really get into the head, right? I mean, I've recently lost somebody, and yeah, there's lots of things that will replay in my brain over and over again. And sometimes it's good just to talk about it.
Mhm.
So Tanya and I want to be able to hold space for people just to come and talk about what's going on. And maybe you're not comfortable talking about it yet, but you'd like to check it out. So we are going to be holding a grief circle on Tuesday, the 9th at 9:30 a.m. And we'll hold it for an hour or two or how like 2 hours, kind of if we've got people that want to stick around for that long and talk about it. And we're going to do that every week for the month of April and see where that takes us. Tanya and I have a lot of experience holding space, and especially with difficult conversations. It's an awesome opportunity for you to support us in putting some of our training into application. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tanya, did you want to add anything to that?
you know what? Just thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Thank you for being on the periphery, but we invite you into the conversation. And again, there's no have to, right? So if you come into the room and you don't want to speak, then don't. Everything's welcome in our space for sure. And grief is not only about death, right?
That's right.
And if you've been through grief, you know that it's a rolling wave, right? And so we're constantly riding that wave, and all of a sudden joy will be there, and then a moment later grief will be there. And how do we make room for the duality and the complexities or the
Yeah.
paradox that is life itself? So
Yeah.
we welcome you to join us. So Friday at 7 a.m. PDT. If you'd like the link, please ask below and we'll send it to you. And on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. PDT, on the same link, we're going to be hosting Grief and Bereavement. We hope to see you there.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Till next time.